Hi guys, my name is Ayub Odhiambo. I'm a data scientist, 8 to 5 job, and my current employer, I work as a data scientist, and most of the time I do a lot of analysis and machine learning. On after 5 and my free time, I run a notice board. I call it A4Ayub notice board, and this notice board, the idea came about when I started. I used to attend a certain meetup, AI Saturdays. I think. 2 years back, and a couple of students or meetup guys who we used to attend approached me after running or after listening to my sessions, because I used to give talks once in a while about natural language processing. And when after the sessions, a couple of them came and asked me, okay, the mode within which they are learning, they're beginners, they needed a hand or for someone to work with them from the ground up in their AI pursuit. So in particular, I'm interested in machine learning. So based on that, I went out, looked for a specific office, and asked the students, if this was to happen, then you guys will have to pay. And what you're paying is for the space. So I can make booking for the space, and then I present my time, and then I take you through from ground up and you learn machine learning. That worked very, very well, and students came from all over Nairobi, and we started with, I think, around 8 students, and every Saturday between 2:30 and 5, that was the initial class, we used to have sessions. It grew steadily, from 8 students to approximately 18 students, and when it got to that, I had to split classes. So I had Saturday morning and Saturday afternoon. After afternoon, I had 2 sessions, early afternoon and late evening. So pretty much Saturdays was a crazy day for me, starting at 8 and ending at 8 p.m. Fortunately enough, it's not so far from where I live, along Gong Road, and it went well for I think around 6 months. Students paying for the space, and I presenting myself, and we walk through introduction to machine learning all the way covering statistics, building models, and then we reached a point where we were going to now intermediate, where we are doing production ready solutions. And I'll come to production ready solutions in a bit. So what happened is Rona visited us. We all know about COVID-19 and Corona. That disrupted us, and we took like a 2 month period just chilling. And during that period, guys kept asking me, what's happening? Are we going to have classes? I've lagged behind. So I was actually forced to start online sessions. And because the students were paying for online session, I wouldn't charge them for online session. So I restarted A4Ayub's Noticeboard, sorry, and we were using Zoom. We've been using Zoom for the past, I think, 3 Saturdays now, after taking a long period, and it's been so far so good. It's been fantastic. Delivery on discussions. We've recorded some of these sessions and uploaded them on YouTube. It's been really, really good. But one thing I've noticed with the Zoom session is, while participation is there, but electricity blackouts are affecting attendance, and other other unforeseen incidents are affecting attendance, and some students are requesting for sessions to be recorded so that they can revisit. Having looked at this, I am actually creating a new way of doing this, and to optimize on the benefits to the students, because um, the idea behind A4Ayub's notice board is to be able to bridge the gap between what is needed by the corporate sector in terms of delivery as an ML engineer, whether it's junior, whether it's senior. Business speaks one language. what is the expected output within a certain period of time, regardless of all the algorithms that you may know, regardless of how much technology you may know. What are you delivering that gives value to the business at the end of the day, within what period? So within a very short time, the business required a lot from you. And the way this is done is measured is the value to the customer, the value to the business. It's never about competition. So competition just sharpens your skills, but you need to be able to map that. And that is exactly what I meant by, are you able to produce production-ready solutions as an ML engineer or as a data scientist? And I'm not speaking on behalf of any data scientist or ML engineer. I'm speaking as the lead of A4Ayub's Noticeboard and the programs that we're running. So this is structured to bridge that gap. We come together, identify a project, and this project is based on actual gaps, opportunities outside there. It could be gaps in terms of retail sector, in terms of service industry, in terms of customer self-service. Once we identify some of these projects, I walk through students based on a project. So from project, I walk through in terms of understanding the business requirements, um, understanding translating this business requirement to a machine learning problem, because not all problems are machine learning problems, yeah? So we need to refine that and make it a machine learning problem, and then we start our classes. So every single time we discuss in class, we are actually in reference to solving a particular problem. And the way I've designed it in such a way that during the sessions, any other expertise can actually sharpen the skills by helping the others um, uh, deliver production-ready solutions. We have very few data scientists, very few machine learning engineers, but we have so many people who are interested in this field. So unfortunately, the balance and the need, the skills expected from the guys, the bigger bucket, is not to the expectations of most corporates. So that gap, I hope and believe through A4Ayub's Noticeboard, will be sealed, since the students will be able to deliver a production-ready solution. And if you're pursuing employment, when you're asked, have you done, how much experience do you have? So all you have to do is make reference to a certain website, make reference to a certain application, have someone who wants to know your capability log into it, and get to see your production-ready solution. Something being used by real customers outside there. So, I've mentioned about the projects and how we are running A4Ayub's Noticeboard. So the approach is, during my free time, I run through specific problems and make recordings, upload these recordings, and everyone within the A4Ayub's Noticeboard space can access this recording. That is a new way you're going to do it. I preempt specific topics, I walk them through and make all the recordings available for any member of A4Ayub's Noticeboard. Now, you as a member, you're free to go through those recordings, create your own problems, solve them by your own or by yourself, and just pursue your career by yourself. You're not obligated to attend or even actively engage in A4Ayub's Noticeboard or discussions. Yeah. So those videos and the recordings will be available for you. Another difference would be we are introducing something called A4Ayub Club memberships. Now, A4Ayub Noticeboard will generate clubs, and the first club is targeting those people with individual projects, and they would want to solve them, but once in a while they come across specific problems. And as a data scientist or machine learning engineer, it's practically not possible to deliver a solution by yourself. So while you're studying by yourself, it's good to involve, to join meetups, join and participate in as many meetups as you can. I work with communities and work with people, especially now that I'm talking about A4Ayub's Noticeboard. That would be a very, very good forum for you to work, as much as you're delivering your own solution. Now, That is the first group, that is the first club membership. Now, this membership means that you're working on your own problem, but once in a while you do specific, you come across specific problems that you need either another expertise, or you need some guidance, or you need to understand how someone else solved it. That is the time now you can come and float. The second group of membership is uh, where I call it production ready membership. Now, production ready membership is you're delivering a project that actually will be hosted on an open platform for machine learning engineers, an open platform for data scientists and Android developers. So I am building this platform, and this platform is bringing those three groups together. It's bringing data scientists, machine learning engineers, and Android developers. So the data scientists focus a lot on the analytics and within the data that is being generated from the platform. Machine learning engineers, both professional and juniors and enthusiasts, if you even don't know what machine learning engineer is, you're welcome, because through what you're doing, you'll definitely understand and grow your career to being a proficient machine learning engineer. So that club membership for production ready club membership, specific projects that are needed outside there have been identified either by someone else or even by our community ourselves. We identify a gap, we translate this conversation into a machine learning problem, and we build models. Now, once we build the models, we integrate those models either into a web interface, and then we also build a mobile interface. So these are the two interfaces that we go outside there and ask users to use them and give us feedback. And through that iterations, you get to have, as a junior machine learning engineer, you get to have hands-on applicability and iteration to your model. And specific contribution for each of the models is actually tracked. So when you're articulating what you've done within our space, it is very, very clear to convince an employer that you actually know what you're doing. Unlike the current situation where most people attend colleges, they learn a lot of skills, they acquire a lot of skills, but unfortunately they are just theoretical. Most people want to see value from hands-on. So that is the platform that I'm creating. It is pretty young because even myself, I'm still a student, even from within A4Ayub Noticeboard. In the past that I've been teaching or even guiding. I don't consider myself like a teacher or a lecturer or even someone who really knows this stuff. But I consider myself that I am really strong in bringing people together and sharing knowledge, because the more knowledge you share, the better you become. And the better you become, the more problems you solve. So I've learned a lot from my students, I've learned a lot from the community, and definitely you will learn a lot. So there, in the community, there are so many people working in several institutions, um, but most of them as well are students who are learning to pursue this. And yeah, those two groups, or rather those two club memberships, is now the way we are going to be doing things moving forward. It needs to be based on projects, it needs to be solving a particular problem, and it also needs to involve or even encourage participation from other people who are doing their own work but lack or wish to be involved in an active community. Active community in the sense that we are actually tracking our performance at both individual level, and actually the impact whatever we are doing is felt outside to either other communities or even solving problems. All right, so that is about, that has been quite a mouthful, and I might have confused you a little bit, but as raw as it is, you'll get it. And if you have any questions, please engage me. I have, just go to LinkedIn if you want to know my profile. Go to LinkedIn if you want to know more about myself, where I work, but I don't post my family in LinkedIn. You can go to LinkedIn and just search for A4I. Yeah, you'll find my details there. And yeah, you can join this community and let's do this. And my request particularly goes to those guys who are proficient. We know the gap. Yeah, I know my gaps, and the guys who've been in this game for over 6, 7 years. I welcome you guys, for you guys to give us some direction in terms of learning, in terms of the impact, what you've been doing, and help bridge the gap so that when you're recruiting, you need someone who will be able to deliver whatever you want delivered within a short time. So come to us, or invite us, or come and teach us and help bridge this gap. I think I've said quite a lot. If I continue beyond this, I think I'll be spoiling it. I really hope that you get the gist of it. And the next class is actually Saturday on 30th May 2020. And subsequent classes will be every Saturday. But the videos and audio recording will be published in the WhatsApp group on when I get the chance to do that, because 8 to 5 I give that to my employer. After 5 I'm with you guys. Let's solve problems, let's get better, and let's network. Thank you.